Hey guys, it's finished. There it is. Full scale quarter mile. I actually had a shorter track that I was running over this past week to 10 days. What I didn't do was count Brandon's cut pieces that were on the hill. I was counting them as 2 feet because he's cut them. Obviously, they are less than 2 feet, but I wasn't counting that at the time. So we have a little bit longer track. Times are a little bit higher than what we were used to seeing before. But look at that thing. That's a full scale quarter mile. That is about a 5.5 foot drop with about a 2 foot um, transition where it still gradually contours down to the bottom with a straight run to electronic timer. Help me run some races here. Been doing some calibration. Things are still not finalized, and I don't know how close I'm going to be to it. Certainly, there's a lot more cars to run after this, but I'm just trying to focus on the cars that are in the cases right now. Let's run off some top twos that we have. In the 51 to 62 class, I ran everything off except these two. We have the Ferrari F40 silver 5-hole. We have the Johnny Lightning black with flames. Let's see who's number one in that class. Everybody else has been calibrated up to that point. And so what we're going to do is just get the number ones and number twos figured out. This white Ferrari F40 will go in lane 1. And the Johnny Lightning black with flames will go in lane number 2. Let's see who's the top of that weight class. And some of these cars, after we're done, I'm going to try to test them into the top 24 because I know that quite a few of these cars are going to be getting into that top 24. Here we go. Ooh, that's that Ferrari with that top end. A little bit longer run allows us to see true top end. Before, I'm going to say 80% of the time, I was seeing the car that was out in front by half track. That was the one that was winning. Right now, that is not the case. Top end matters. 2057 to 2067 for the Ferrari. Let's switch them up. Oh, the black with flames that time. 58 to 63. Yet the Ferrari had a 10 1,000ths advantage in that first race, so he is my number one car in the 51 to 62 medal, and he'll definitely be getting a shot at the ranks. Probably that black with flames too in the top 24. They'll be definitely in that lower quadrant of that top class. All right, they go like so. Number 2 and number 1. After that is a silver bullet. Then we have two 280Zs. We have the Backwoods Bomb. We have a Modern Classics blue Shelby GT500. We have a red Solaire. We have a 50th anniversary Mustang. We have a black Solaire. We have the Time Machine, and we have a Dodge Concept. Let's go up here. Let's figure out the number 1 and number 2 cars. First on deck is going to be the Fast and Furious Charger, and then the number 43 Bobby Hamilton. We'll get a little closer look. Here is that Fast and Furious Charger. They made a few Chargers. This one's pretty darn fast. It's a Battleship Gray. Good blinkers. Really set off nice. And this is the 51 gram STP Bobby Hamilton Stalker. Pretty quick. We did a rework on these guys, so we'll see what that means, but they've stood out as the fastest 2 in that class. They just have not raced each other. They are where they are. That Charger's looking strong. 2052 to a 2059. Yeah, both of those times are going to knock out the last 2 or 3 right now in that top 24, and I think that white Ferrari will too. So there's going to be a lot of shuffling in that top court, top class. So let's switch them here. We have a 7/1000th advantage for the Charger. Race 2. Again with the Charger. Closer race. 2060 to a 2062. The Charger is the #1 car in the 51-62 plastic bottom chassis class. Here we see the Charger, the Bobby Hamilton. We have the black Charger that's in the 3-pack, which the white Mustang comes in. And then we've got some Rescue Rangers, Smith Electric, a couple more Rescue Rangers. Not exciting when you have that many Rescue Rangers, but everything else is just so damn slow. So might as well wanted to keep a little speed in there. All right, let's flip this case over and see what we have in the 40s. Let's start out in the plastic class. For #1 and #2, came down to this. The Fast and Furious Ford GT40 and the Fast and Furious Maserati Ghibli. Guarantee you one or both of these will be in the top 24. This GT40, the more you work it, the better it gets. I wasn't impressed at first, but it is really, really hot right now. I don't think he's going to get by the Ghibli, but I haven't raced him. So let's get him in the line, and we'll see what we got. Looking real good in the line. I'm going to send him. All Ghibli, but that GT40 hung in. Whew. 2044 for the Ghibli. Good night. 2056 for the GT40. These are contenders for sure. This is the first runs the Ghibli's had on this new track. Not only is it a full 20 feet 7.5 inches, it is Butter Boulevard. Brandon had sent that track. He cut it. Really appreciate him from Scale Racing Channel. Please subscribe to that channel. He does a lot of great hauls, a lot of great racing, and good information on castings. He's very knowledgeable about that. But now that this entire length is with his track, it has made it hellish fast and hellish consistent. It's really good to see. Little commercial break there for Brandon, and now let's get into race #2. All Ghibli. Wow. 2047 for the Maserati Ghibli. 2059 for the Ford GT40. Ghibli's in the #1 spot, but he's going to be graduating into another box real soon. All right, guys. Down in the 41 to 50 gram metal, we have a Hong Kong wind splitter. And we have a Matchbox Laser Wheels 300ZX. We'll get a better look at them, and then we'll get them set up in the line. This one came mint in package. This one came mint in package. Okay, I'll get them set up. We'll get these guys down the track. Nissan 300Z in lane #1, ZX. In lane #1, the Hong Kong wind splitter in lane 2. Wind splitter. 2057 to a 2074 for that 300ZX. That thing was taking names. That doesn't seem right, but we'll switch those up. Lanes are switched. A little more indicative of what I thought was going to happen there. 2054 to a 2056. The wind splitter takes the win. And I'm going to switch it one more time just because I wasn't sure what happened on that first run. We're going to call this race 1 with a wind splitter with a 2/1000th advantage. Lanes are switched. Good start. Closer race there, but still the wind splitter is going to take that #1 spot. 2054 to a 2062. That wind splitter is going to be vying for a spot too, but it's going to get a little crowded down there. So that top 24 box is definitely going to get faster after today. Okay guys, let's get into a little bit of racing and a little bit of fun. We have some cars here that we can line up against each other, and then we'll see if they are worthy to maybe take a crack at that top 24. These are cars that I've started to pull out of my collection. It's scratching the surface, to be honest with you right now. This is one of about 5 71 Challengers I have. It's the only one I could find. And it's from Johnny Lightning. Usually fast as hell. So we're going to get him in the line. In lane 1, he's going to go up against a Hong Kong Quick Trick. This is based off of Ferrari 308. These are usually pretty damn fast. So I reworked him here this morning. We'll get him in lane 2. This is going to be an interesting race. I've not run either of these, and I'm curious as to their times. They are off. Great start. 71 Challenger. 2062 to 2068. Not as fast as what I thought, but you know, we'll see what happens when we switch them up and maybe there's a break in. The Challenger has a 6/1000th advantage. Race 2. All Challenger. Got out, stayed out this time. 2054 to a 2057 for the Quick Trick. They both got a little bit faster, so let's do something. We'll run that Challenger up against the Gatekeeper in the top 24. Okay, guys, here's that case. I'm going to say there is a dozen cars right now that have a chance to be in this lower spot, making this entire case faster. There might be 2 or 3 that might get into this top section. I'm thinking of that Maserati Ghibli. I'm thinking of a couple others too that may do it. There was a wind splitter in the 41 to 50 that really ran well. So let's see what happens here up against this Gatekeeper, which used to be my fastest Murata, but no more. It is showing itself for what it is, and he's about to get his ass kicked. Straight out of the top 24. This is a really dirty Dodge Murata. Gold. Reworked. And fighting for his life. 71 Challenger this time is going to be in lane 2. The Murata's in lane 1. My money's on the Challenger. Here we go. Challenger, no problem. We're going to have a new entry into the top 24. There's the Murata running a 2060, and that's about baseline of where cars get fast. If they're under 2060, they're fast. If they're under 2050, they're elite. I'm going to say anything under 2045 is really top crust stuff. So just giving you all a chance to see where things are. But yeah, 2060 is usually about the threshold, and that Challenger had no problem blowing right through him. Let's switch the lanes. And let's say goodbye to the Murata. Goodbye, Murata. 2050 for that Challenger. That is nice. And 2061 for the Murata. Not good enough. The Challenger moves on. All right, gang. The Murata's sitting out. He's going to take his crack in the weight classes after we film. For right now, let's move up a row. We'll go to Kyle Petty, number 44 Stalker, against our purple 71 Challenger. Do you know how happy I am that a 71 Challenger is back in the mix? I'm damn happy. Gorgeous cars, always fast cars, and some of them are actually elite. Hard to find. Super hard to find. Let's get him in lane 2. They are set. This is for the number 21 spot. Kyle says no. Really close race. 5/1000ths beat. 2053 for Kyle Petty. 2058 for the 71 Challenger. Let's switch them up. Race 2. Kyle with a 5/1000ths advantage. Close race with Kyle taking the win there as well. 2052 to 2054, pretty consistent run by these lanes. I mean, Kyle just ran back to back times, almost virtually the same. So he retains his spot. I'll test the challenger off camera and I'll show you where he ends up. As it stands, the 71 Challenger was only able to move up one spot, beating the Modern Classics Shelby GT500. That thing did not like the extra length, and for whatever reason, did not like the butter like a lot of the other cars did. Most cars, I'm going to say 98% of the cars, just absolutely love it and are faster. Modern Classic Shelby was not one of them. You see where he sits now as the gatekeeper? Let's see what else we're going to race here today. We have another Dodge Murata. We have so many, guys. Still so many to find, and along with the Fairmonts, there's a box somewhere. So this one is pretty new. It's yellow, and it's never been run. This one I just got yesterday. This is a Fast and Furious Roadrunner, and I have one in the ranks pretty high up. I don't know where this one will stand, if he beats him or if he will be below him. We're going to find out. First, we're going to race these guys to see if they're even worthy to get into the top case, time-wise. And they're looking good in the line. Good start. That Roadrunner took a 2053 to a 2063 for the Murata. 10 1,000ths advantage. Let's switch them up, but that's a nice time by that Roadrunner. Lanes are switched. Roadrunner again got the win. We'll get a shot at it. 2063 for the Murata. I don't think that's going to cut it. 2059 for that Roadrunner. Let's get him up against the gatekeeper, that Modern Classic Shelby GT500. All right, we have the Plymouth Roadrunner in lane 1, and we have the Modern Classics Shelby GT500 as the gatekeeper. I think he's going to have to say sayonara. And that's fine by me. Let's make that case as fast as we can. Here we go, race 1. Good start. 6 1,000ths beat by the Roadrunner. 2056 to 2062. Let's go to the second race. Race number 2, Roadrunner with a 6 1,000ths advantage. Again with the win. Say goodbye to the Shelby. 2064 is not going to beat a 2057. That case has just gotten faster. Okay, we'll go one up from Kyle. We'll try him against a Datsun 280Z Starburst Matchbox. And we'll put the Roadrunner up against it to see what it does. And if it loses, I will recalibrate him off camera just like we did that 71 Challenger. We have the Roadrunner in lane 2. We have the famous or infamous 280Z. In lane 1, I think I have 3 in the top 24 right now. They're special cars, and they love the butter. They are where they are, guys. They're off. Close race. 280Z pulls it out on the top end. 51 to 53, 2 1,000ths difference. Wow, let's switch them up. It's anybody's race. Race 2, the 280Z with a 2 1,000ths difference. He gets it. Top ends that Roadrunner. 2047 for the 280Z. Great time. 2060 for the Roadrunner. I'll calibrate him off camera and I'll let you know where he is, guys. Hey, as it is, the Roadrunner is the gatekeeper. He couldn't get by Kyle, then he could not get by the 71 Challenger. So there he sits, ready for all comers. We have 2 more left to race. And I just wanted to show the track at a different length, showing with a smoother run, things like that. And I have a little surprise here after this race, so just hang in there. Let's get these two cars in the line. First up is the 2011 Hot Ones Purple Solaire. This is the Chase edition, and has that special lettering on the tires. This is against a red Solaire that I just dusted this morning. Never dusted a red Solaire. I've always used the liquid method, and I don't know that right now I have any red Solaires in my top 24. I might have one, but these wheels are perfect. They are a 10, and so I'm very excited to see what a little bit of dust will do. I'm not going to get discouraged. We'll do a rework or two down the line to see what this bad boy does. But let's get these monsters in the line, see which Solaire prevails. I'm hoping on this guy, really hoping that we can see something, because I know how it was whenever they were fresh with the liquid method. But if dust takes hold, that would be amazing. Race 1. Red Solaire gets it. Not sure of the times. 2066 to 69. These would not touch the top 24. Let's switch them up. Red Solaire with a 3 1,000ths advantage. Race number 2. He's out, but the purple one's passing him. Purple one with a 2068. The red one with a 2074. Disappointing times for both. How about that? Let's get you back at the top. I want to talk about something special. Guys, it was great having Scoop here last week to break in and christen the track. That's amazing for him to do. He lives about a mile from my house. How's that? That's pretty crazy. But I got a box this week because a man I think everybody knows indicated that he wanted to send some cars to me. A little early in the process here, but nonetheless, it's actually inspiration for me to get things done, try to get things calibrated as best I can, which I did for what I have. Like I say, I have so many more to run. But for right now, I'm calibrated. I'm happy with the track. And yeah, you know who that is. Tim from Blue Line Racing sent his killers. He sent his Hershey's Funny Car. He sent a couple of Mustangs. He sent a time machine, and he sent some of his best builds. What we'll be doing is we're busting these out. I'm not sure if it's going to be Saturday or sometime next week. So no promises, because I still want to make sure this track is right. I think it is. But once that happens, I will open this package at that time. I'm not going to be opening it until then. We'll show you a live opening. We'll be taking the cars directly from their wrappings and putting them right on the track and getting them going. And what I'll do is I'm going to be running single lane times, and then I'll run double lane times with an average. So I'm going to start doing that, and I'm going to inaugurate it with Tim leading the way. Because what I've found, guys, is that when you're running side by side, for some of the cars, not all of them, but I'm going to say some to most of the cars, they run slower. They are affected by the side-by-side racing. So with us, we're going to run it single lane. Then we'll switch lanes and run another single lane, and we'll get an average. So we're going to have a fastest run out of that, and we're going to have an average out of that. And so there's going to be two categories. There'll be fastest run, there'll be average, and then it's going to be what you just saw here. We're going to go side-by-side racing in my cases, because that's how they're calibrated. They're not calibrated by times, they're calibrated by beats. And, some cars are able to ignore the side-by-side turbulence that is caused by that type of racing, and some are not. So with Tim's, we're going to do all three and test them that way. But how about that? Pretty nice surprise and a way to have a grand opening here for the new Nightmare Raceway. I'll be giving a short tutorial on it here very soon on how I built the hill, what I did for the supports, and at least in my case, because I have that carpet, I had to do something just to keep things level. But I mean, if you have a level floor, all you're going to need to worry about is just building this hill, and you'd be done. But those that have a little bit of an undulation, you're going to have to make some do, like I did here. Um, Guys, that's all I have. What we'll be seeing next, whenever that is, I don't know if it's going to be Saturday or if it's going to be a time after that, will be this box getting bust open and seeing some of the fastest cars on the planet. Um, you've seen his videos on what they do versus say what happened in the King of Stocks. His cars were beating all those times. Um, it wasn't side by side racing, but nonetheless, the times were so impressive that I think everyone took notice. I know I sure did. So those cars are in this box, and we'll see what they have in 3 different formats, and that way we'll give them the best chance on, I think, on one of the better tracks that you're going to see max out times. That transition is not going to affect anybody. There's so many transitions that are harsh, and some cars are able to get through a transition, and some cars can't. Well, there's going to be none of that. Any car that's on this track is able to handle this transition and max it out. So yeah, I'm terrified. I know what he has, and I know what he brings. So I expect nothing but. I have my best ready to go. His best is ready to go. There's no excuses. I'm going to be thrilled if he beats me, and I'll be humble if I happen to get the better of him on that day. But I think there's going to be a few fast cars going down the lanes, and I think it'll be fun to watch. All right, guys, we'll catch you soon.